Is it possible that an airport, a space synonymous with order, strict schedules, and security procedures, could turn into the center of a mass emotional eruption simply because one figure appeared without warning, without an official announcement, without even a single word? This very question suddenly echoed in the minds of thousands when a short video, seemingly ordinary yet carrying extraordinary explosive power, began spreading rapidly across social media timelines and triggered a realization that was impossible to ignore. Jungkook of BTS had appeared at the airport unexpectedly, and the ARMY world was never truly ready for that moment. There was no press conference, no public schedule, no confirmation from the agency. There was not even information about the destination of the flight. What existed was only a distant recording, uploaded by the fan account at Goldenlight on the platform X, which unexpectedly transformed the ordinary atmosphere of the check-in area into a center of global attention. Within minutes, the video was no longer merely casual documentation of an idol in a public space, but a catalyst for hysteria, speculation, emotion, and layered questions. Why did Jungkook's presence at the airport this time feel different? What actually happened in the seconds before the camera recorded him? And why was a single, simple body movement able to shake the emotions of millions of fans around the world? In the video, Jungkook is seen wearing casual black clothing, a loose hoodie, a mask covering part of his face, standing in front of a check-in counter surrounded by security personnel. There are no spotlights, no grand stage, no host shouting introductions. What is visible instead are the familiar signs of an airport: the Korea Airports Corporation logo, instruction boards, trash disposal symbols, and the typically monotonous flow of cues. Yet in the midst of that routine, something unexpected happens. Without warning, Jungkook begins to move his body, not merely shifting his feet out of boredom while waiting, but movements instantly recognizable to ARMY worldwide. The iconic choreography from the song Standing Next to You, or SNY, one of the most influential tracks from his solo album Golden. The swing of his arms, the shift of his body, the rhythm that is precise yet light, all emerge as if from natural reflex, as though his body carries stage memory that cannot be switched off by space or situation. It is at this point that the airport ceases to be merely an airport. What initially appears as a cute and spontaneous moment slowly transforms into something much larger. The footage spreads at a speed that is alarming to anyone who understands the dynamics of global fandoms. Thousands of likes appear, followed by thousands of reposts and ever-increasing views. Emotional comments flood the post, ranging from near-desperate expressions of love to deep reflections of longing. "Love him so much. Tell me how to survive the next 18 months." Writes one fan, a simple sentence carrying a heavy emotional load, hinting at distance, waiting, and the collective anxiety felt by ARMY. Yet a bigger question emerges. Why is a moment this brief able to trigger such an overwhelming reaction? From an academic perspective, this phenomenon cannot be separated from the concept of parasocial interaction, in which fans build deep emotional bonds with public figures through media representations. Jungkook is not merely a singer or dancer. He is a symbol, a representation of the emotional journey of millions who have grown alongside BTS's music. When a figure like this appears in a public space without the filter of a stage, without an official narrative, and without a script, the collective mind of the fandom perceives it as a rare, authentic moment. And it is precisely this rarity that triggers an emotional explosion. The caption added by the video uploader further amplifies the effect. "Jungkook is so funny and cute. He was doing the SNL choreography in the airport today." It reads, accompanied by messages of support such as, "Have a safe flight, Jungkook," "Jungkook Universal Pop Star," and "We love you, Jungkook." These sentences are not mere praise, they are collective declarations, acknowledgments that Jungkook's presence, even in the most ordinary situations, still carries immense symbolic weight. Interestingly, the video was recorded from a distance, bearing the watermark Sumi_0428, indicating that the moment was neither staged nor designed for public consumption. In fact, the distance and camera angle strengthen the sense of authenticity, as if viewers are peeking into a fragment of life that should have remained private. And here lies the real surprise. Jungkook appears completely relaxed, enjoying his free time. As though unaware that every movement he makes has the potential to become global news. Is he aware of the impact of his actions? Or is it precisely that unawareness that makes this moment feel so powerful? Within hours, the post surpassed 7,000 likes and 1,500 reposts, with thousands of views continuing to accumulate. These numbers are not mere statistics, they are indicators of broad emotional resonance. Each like is an acknowledgement, each repost an amplification, and each comment proof that Jungkook still holds strong control over the public imagination, even without a clear promotional strategy. What intensifies the situation further is the lack of clarity regarding Jungkook's travel destination. There is no information about where he is going, for what purpose, or in what context. This absence of information creates fertile ground for speculation. Is this related to a new project? Is it a personal trip? Or is it part of a promotional strategy, deliberately left ambiguous? In the modern entertainment world, uncertainty often proves more effective than certainty, and this moment becomes a clear example of how the absence of official information can actually amplify a narrative's impact. For ARMY, Jungkook's appearance at the airport is not merely about seeing their idol directly or through a screen. It is an emotional reminder that behind his status as a global pop star, Jungkook remains a human being who can dance out of boredom while waiting for check-in, who can smile behind a mask, and who can create a historic moment without intending to do so. And precisely because of that, the reactions that emerge cannot be controlled. The airport may have returned to its routine a few hours later. Passengers continued their journeys, security personnel resumed their duties, and the check-in counters fell silent once more. But for ARMY around the world, something had changed. A second that was never scheduled left an emotional trace that is difficult to erase, reinforcing a fact that grows harder to deny. Jungkook's presence, wherever and whenever it occurs, always carries the potential for emotional upheaval that cannot be underestimated. And now the question is no longer what happened at that airport, but what this moment means for the future relationship between Jungkook and his fans, a relationship that seems to grow deeper precisely through events that are never planned. The next chapter will delve further into how a simple video can transform into a symbol of a global bond that continues to endure, even when the stage is dark and the spotlights are turned off. Can a public space still be called neutral when a single figure is able to alter the emotional pulse of thousands of people simply by standing still, then dancing silently for a few seconds? Or is this the clearest proof that in the era of global pop culture, there is no place that is truly ordinary when Jungkook of BTS is present within it? This question surfaced as the ripple effects of Jungkook's sudden appearance at the airport continued to unfold, effects that went far beyond the short video that initially ignited the commotion. After the first wave of hysteria swept through timelines, something more subtle yet deeper began to take shape. ARMY's reactions were no longer limited to virtual screams or excessive emojis. They evolved into collective conversations, emotional analyses, even existential reflections on the relationship between an idol and his fans. The airport, once merely a backdrop, became a symbol of how thin the boundary is between the public and private lives of a star as large as Jungkook, and how fragile that balance becomes when fan cameras start recording. Within the many comments that emerged, an intriguing tone could be detected. On one side, there was pure joy, admiration for Jungkook's playful side, warmth in seeing him so relaxed, and pride that their idol remained true to himself. On the other side, however, there was a subtle unease. Some ARMY questioned security, others expressed heightened anxiety, and many admitted their emotions felt mixed seeing Jungkook in such an open and vulnerable space. Why did those emotions feel so complex? The answer lies in Jungkook's position within the global pop culture ecosystem. He is no longer merely a member of BTS, or a successful soloist with the chart-topping album Golden. He is a symbolic figure whose existence carries emotional meaning for millions of people. When a figure like this appears without the protection of an official narrative, fans are forced to confront a paradox. On one hand, they long for closeness and authenticity. On the other, they are acutely aware of the risks that accompany it. The airport video, though light and cute on the surface, reopened an old discussion about the boundaries of idol privacy. The fact that Jungkook was surrounded by security personnel in the footage served as a visual reminder that his presence always carries logistical and safety consequences. Yet irony emerged when it was precisely a small dance movement, not crowds or screams, that became the primary trigger of emotional chaos online. Does this mean Jungkook cannot do ordinary things in public spaces? Or does it instead reveal just how vast the gap is between public perception and the private reality of a star? Interestingly, not a single official statement was released after the video went viral. The agency chose silence. Mainstream media initially only cited social media reactions without additional confirmation. This silence, rather than dampening the situation, amplified its resonance. In communication theory, such a condition is known as an information vacuum, where the absence of official information encourages the public to fill the gaps with their own interpretations. An ARMY, with both creativity and emotion, did so at remarkable speed. Some viewed the moment as a small expression of Jungkook's freedom, a quiet statement that he could still dance whenever he wanted. Others interpreted it as a hidden message, as if Jungkook were greeting fans amid distance and long waiting periods. Some even connected it to a broader narrative about the future of his career, reading every step he took as a potential code. At this point, the airport was no longer merely a physical location, but a symbolic stage. No music was playing, yet SNY echoed clearly in fans' minds. There were no spotlights, yet global attention converged on a single point. Jungkook stood there, perhaps simply waiting for his turn at check-in, while online, thousands of people experienced a simultaneous emotional eruption. International reactions followed a similar pattern. Fans from different countries with diverse cultural backgrounds responded in the same language, the language of shock and almost excessive affection. This reinforced one crucial fact: Jungkook's status as a global pop star is not merely a promotional label, but a measurable reality reflected in how the world reacts to even his smallest actions. Yet beneath all of this lies an emotional layer that is rarely discussed openly: fragility. Many comments implicitly express fear of losing moments like this. When one fan asked, "Tell me how to survive the next 18 months," the question was not only about time but about uncertainty, about distance yet to come, about the possibility that spontaneous moments like this might become increasingly rare. This is where the true power of the airport video resides. It is not merely entertaining, it is also a reminder that ARMY's happiness often comes in small, unexpected fragments. A reminder that the emotional bond between Jungkook and his fans is not always built through grand concerts or major album releases, but through simple moments that feel real. The airport, in this context, becomes a metaphor for transition, a place where people arrive and depart, where farewells and hope intersect. The fact that Jungkook danced in such a space adds a layer of meaning that is difficult to ignore. As if he were standing between two worlds, the private world he wishes to live in, and the public world that continually demands his presence, and perhaps, without realizing it, ARMY understood that message as the hysteria began to subside and the video became a digital archive replayed again and again. A new question emerged, calmer yet no less profound. Will this moment be remembered as merely a cute incident, or as a symbol of a new phase in Jungkook's relationship with the public? Is it a sign that spontaneity will become a new language he uses to stay connected, or a warning that every public space now carries significant emotional risk? The answers to these questions remain unclear. But one thing is certain. Since that day, the airport has no longer been neutral in ARMY's collective memory. It has become a silent witness to a small surprise that triggered a massive wave, a wave that has not yet fully receded. The next chapter will explore further the long-term implications of this moment, how media, fandom, and Jungkook himself exist within a continuously moving narrative vortex, and whether this airport surprise is merely the beginning of a much larger story. Jungkook, with all of his achievements, has long been framed within a grand narrative. Majestic stages, world tours, streaming records, and industry accomplishments that are nearly impossible to rival. Yet at that airport, this frame collapsed. He appeared simply as someone waiting, bored, then dancing lightly. And it was precisely there that many fans felt they were seeing him more completely. This paradox is compelling, as it reveals that in an era saturated with heavily produced content, global audiences are instead craving moments that feel undesigned and unmanufactured. For ARMY, This incident became a kind of emotional reminder that their relationship with Jungkook does not rely solely on promotional intensity or media presence. That bond remains alive even in silence, even in unpredictability. This is why the reactions felt so personal, as if each fan held an emotional claim over the moment, not because they felt entitled, but because they felt emotionally included. Interestingly, Jungkook himself remained silent. There was no clarification, no follow-up post, no attempt to steer the narrative. This silence, rather than creating distance, only strengthened the aura of mystery. In modern celebrity culture, silence is often louder than speech. Every ambiguity opens a space for interpretation, and every space of interpretation gives fans the opportunity to plant their own meaning. The album Golden and the song Standing Next to You were inevitably carried into this narrative. The choreography Jungkook performed at the airport was no longer merely part of album promotion, but a symbol of continuity between the stage and everyday life. It was as if Jungkook were saying, without words, that music and movement are part of who he is, not a costume he wears only when the lights are on. As time passed and the video began to sink beneath the flow of new content, its emotional trace remained. Many ARMY described the moment as heart-strengthening, encouraging, even a reminder to endure. These expressions may sound excessive to those outside the fandom, but to those who felt them, this was honest emotional language, and in the end, Jungkook's sudden appearance at the airport was not about physical chaos or uncontrollable crowds. The true chaos occurred in the inner space, where shock, joy, longing, and hope collided all at once. And perhaps that is where its true power lies. Jungkook does not need to do anything grand to create a massive impact. Simply by being present, simply by being himself, the world reacts. The question now shifts, not to what happened that day, but to what will happen when unexpected moments like this continue to emerge in the future. Will ARMY always be ready? Or is it precisely that unpreparedness that makes every appearance by Jungkook feel so surprising, emotional, and irreplaceable? Time will answer that, while the trace of that airport surprise remains alive in collective memory, as proof that sometimes, the simplest moments are the hardest to forget.